Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by to check out my video today. This is a yarn and crochet channel where we talk about all things yarn and all things crochet. So if that interests you, please sit back and watch my video, because today, my friends, I offer you another session of coffee and cake with Juan. So you see it in the shot there. This is my coffee. I have a large cup of coffee. This is Dunkin' Donuts Hazelnut Blend with caramel macchiato creamer. It is sugar-free, of course, because I am diabetic, so I am trying different sweeteners in order to achieve the taste that I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is no aftertaste. So I've tried some of the other sweeteners, the artificial sweeteners, and I'm getting an aftertaste. So now I'm trying some natural sweeteners, and so I'll talk about that later on in the video. So there is that. But here are the cakes. So these are the ones that are done. I am caking up vintage variegated yarns. So this is an example of what a completed tray looks like. And so, yes, these are all vintage variegated yarns. And then in the middle of each cake, I'm putting the ball band inside so that I don't forget the name or any of the details regarding the yarn that I just caked up there. So I've been working this project for about 6 or 7 months now. I've been acquiring these yarns through friends, family, viewers, and subscribers of the channel, and I've been caking them up along the way, telling everyone that I've been working behind the scenes this project where I am doing hexagons. So I did a tutorial for the full hexagon on my channel, and I have it for the left and the right-handed crocheter. I also have half hexagons. So the idea here is I'm going to continue doing my vintage variegated hexagons in both full and half, and I'm going to put everything together using Red Heart Super Saver in black. I'm going to do like a border of black around every hexagon. And so I have these trays that I'm working with. I'm putting 50 of them in a tray so I can keep count. So this here has about 40 of them in here. I believe it's exactly 40 if I'm not mistaken. So once I get to 50, I'm just going to pull another tray off the stack in the squirrel's nest and start fresh. And so I will have 235. That's the magic number. That's what I need for my blanket. 235 full hexagons. That does not include the half hexagons that I need to square up the blanket. So it's an ongoing project. This is my long-term project that I'm working behind the scenes. And so I'm showing progress along the way, but this video here is about caking up all of the yarns to prepare for that project. Now, I have more than enough to do the 235 hexagons that I need for this blanket. So now I'm thinking about other projects that I can work up using the vintage variegated yarns. So while I'm trying to think up projects for those, I'm going to continue caking these up because, I mean, some of these skeins definitely need some TLC. So I mean, I can't keep them in the bin like this. I mean, not with me being the way I am with my yarn. So I need to cake it up, prepare it, keep it nice and neat, stack it, pack it, and get it ready to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-angle the camera so we have the ball winder and the yarn on the table, and then we'll get started, okay? So I'll see you in just 1 second. Okay, friends, so I am back. You can't really see the ball winder, but it's here. I'm using the Knit Picks ball winder today. And so I just wanted to show you some of the yarns that I have here. I've shown it before, but I just want to show it again because it's so nice. We have to show it more than twice. So this first skein here is called Star Brights. Red Heart Super Saver. It's very nice, very squishy. Love this. Very, very nice. Okay, so there is that. I'm going to set this over here as a potential let's do it first type thing. This one here is Red Heart Classics, Red Heart Super Saver Classics. Now this here is Mexicana, but this is the older Mexicana, where the breaks are a little longer than normal. I'm sure it's the same thing, but the yarns feel so much nicer, in my opinion. I have Mexicana yarn from a recent purchase, and it feels nothing like this. It's nice and thick. It's squishy. It's nice. So this will be included in the make because the yarn is probably as old as I am. So yes, that's going to be included. Next we have, this is Karen Simply Soft in the colorway Rose Teal Ombre. This needs some TLC for sure. This is asking and begging to be caked up. It doesn't want to be like this anymore, and I don't blame it. So this was on sale at Walmart for 96 cents when it was on sale back then. So there's that. Very nice. Rose Teal Ombre. Now, I don't mind the rose in this because it's a very muted pink, and it goes really nice with the teal. So, I mean, it's not bad at all. And I would imagine this cake would be pretty small, if I'm being honest. Next, we have a very, very old skein here. This is Windtuck Ombre, knitting worsted type, 100% DuPont Orlan acrylic yarn. Yeah, this is great. Look at this. It's giving us like mermaid colors minus the purple. I wish I could give you the name, but the paper tore. I mean, it's a very old skein. There's no UPC code like a scan. I mean, this is a pretty old skein. I would say 60s, maybe late 50s. So there's that one. That's a potential. Let's do that next. This one here is Lion Brand Mandala. I'm sorry, Lion Brand Pamela. There's no UPC code, so it's before 1974. I would imagine that this was late 60s, early 70s. I'm going by the font. There's a lot that can be said about the font on the labels here as to like how recent things are. So at any rate, this is called Blue Denim Ombre. Super, super nice. Okay. Next we have Red Heart Classic, and this colorway is called Shaded Teals. That's very nice. This is only a 3-ounce skein at 146 yards. I'll put that over here too. I've shown this before on the channel. This is called Pebble. This is Red Heart Pebble. Very nice. Love that. And here we have another one like the Mexicana where they still sell it, but this yarn is not brand new. So it wasn't just made yesterday, and it wasn't made 30 or 40 years ago, but this is McCall. So I do believe they still sell this, but the ball band and the yarn, it's just asking to be caked up. I don't know if I'm going to include this in the blanket because this is a pretty recent color, but the condition of the skein is just begging to be caked up. I'm going to set this on my desk. Okay, so I don't have a name for this yarn. I'm not exactly sure who makes this. This feels like the Windtuck yarn, 100% Orlan DuPont acrylic. And it's got like these pastel colors. Super, super nice. This would be like another small cake. I'm going to sit that right there. I might do that to get it out of the way. Next we have some poppin' yarn. I've shown this several times as well. I'm not really a fan of the combination of these two colors. However, yeah, someone somewhere loved this so much that, you know, they bought it and this was gifted to me, and I'm going to include it in the make because this is a vintage variegated yarn. So the colorway name is Honeydew. It's almost like marled, right? So there's that. And then this is Red Heart Super Saver Green Tones. This is absolutely beautiful. I love this. I have the blue version worked up already. Where's that tray? Can I just show you very quickly what the blue version of this looks like? It's gorgeous. Look at this. Let me turn this over. So this hexagon is this yarn, but in green. It doesn't even look like it, right? But once it gets worked up, it's gorgeous. So I'm excited for this. I'm going to sit this over here. Anyway, next I have this. It's Red Heart Super Saver purple tones. So green shades, purple tones. So I have several hexagons already made out of this, but I need to cake this up because I don't want too many of the same. If I have to revisit this, I will. Actually, I'm going to keep this on the table. We might do this next. So there's that. And finally, I have Red Heart with Love in the colorway Water Lily. So I have this skein here, and then I have this here. So what I need to do is cake all of this together into one cake. So I'm excited about this. All right, so I'll set that there. We'll start with Red Heart Super Saver purple tones, I think, but let me situate everything and I will see you in just 1 second. Okay, friends, so we have the ball winder ready, we have the yarn, we have the coffee. I just need another swig of my coffee, if that's okay. So good. Okay, we're going to start with this purple. I like to do a slip knot when I start, because when I go to pull the cake out of the tray, I want to just be able to slide my hook right in there and get to work. So there's that. I'm going to wind this in here like that. And we're just going to get started. So this was purchased at Walmart for $2. The label is still showing here. See that yellow label? Walmart, $2. Had I been in the store when that sale was going on, friends, I think I would have cleared the shelf. Kind of like what I did yesterday at Big Lots when they had that sale going on. Buy one, get one half off. Let me tell you, that was a steal and a deal. If you were on my live yesterday and I talked about that, I mean, yes, that was a great deal. I was super happy about that. So, depending on when you're watching this. So, yesterday was August the 8th, and I was informed by one of my viewers that Big Lots had this amazing sale going on and that I needed to jump on it as soon as possible. Well, I love a good deal and steal, friends. So yes, you can tell me all the deals and all the steals and I will jump on that because this is my retirement. So I'm getting it now while I can, because I would imagine 20 years from now when I go to retire, I'm not going to really be able to have the money for all the yarn. I'll have it already. Anyway, so I'm just planning for my future. At any rate, so I was told about this sale, and I called my local Big Lots, and I said, hey, I was told about this sale. You guys are selling yarn. Buy one, get one half off, and then you guys have a 20% off coupon going on right now. And they said, yes. Yes, we do have the yarn. There is the sale. Are you coming to the store to get it, or should we put it on the shelf? And I said, well, what do you mean? They said, well, we just received it off of our warehouse truck. We haven't even had a chance to put it out yet. So if you're interested, we'll keep it in the box and we'll wait for you to come in. So I was in that store so fast. I was at the store like in 11 minutes. I was very proud of my rush time. Anyway, I showed up 11 minutes later, and the manager takes me to the yarn. And the yarn boxes were lined up right outside of their warehouse, the warehouse door. And I looked inside there, and there were all these Caron 1 pounds, Caron Jumbos, and Bernat Ogos. And I said, okay, can you tell me how much these are? Because no one told me how much anything was. I just knew there was this sale going on. And the manager said, well, it's $3.99. I said, are you kidding me right now? I said, do you know how much these are regular price? And the manager was like, no, I don't knit, I don't crochet, I'm not into the yarn. And I said, well, these are $11.99 normally. And in some cases, they go up as high as $13.99 depending on what store you get them from. And I said, you're selling them for $3.99? And the manager said, yeah, the price tags are in the box. So when they receive freight off their truck, the price tags, the stickers, are inside the box already. So they take those stickers and put, these stickers on all of the items. So yeah, the manager verified. He went into the box and looked, and the assistant manager was there. I forget her name, but yeah. So it was a thing. And so I went ahead and got all the yarn. And the manager was like, "Excuse me?" I said, "I'll take all of it." And then they started taking the yarn out of the box, and then I saw, I'm sorry in advance for you pink lovers, there were, I think 12 or 13 jumbos, Karen jumbos, in this like dusty pink and gray color. And I said, except those, you can keep them in the box. I do not want them. Everyone's laughing, but I was so serious. I did not want to spend my money on those. So the manager was like, "Okay, so are you taking everything else?" I said, "Yes." So we loaded up all the things and we went to the register. I paid $1.59 or $1.60 per Karen 1 pound. $1.60. And my Bernat Ogos, $1.60 for each one. I got so excited. I was so happy that I got that. I went ahead and called another Big Lots in my area, in the town that I live in, and they also had 2 boxes of yarn. I called ahead, they had it. I went in there, I said, "I'm going to take all of your yarn except the pink ones," and so that was a thing. I went ahead and cleared them out. I cleared out 2 Big Lots stores. Now, why all the yarn? Well, first of all, it's $1.50 for 1 pound of yarn. I mean, yeah, that's a no-brainer. I can just store it away until, you know, I need it. But then also, too, I am an ambassador for Boggy Creek, so I'm all about making the blankets and promoting Boggy Creek and things. And so I thought, okay, well, this is a great opportunity to acquire a lot of yarn to create blankets for the kids. Now, the colors, I mean, are they all neon colors? No, they're not. They're not like the brightest of colors. Karen 1 pounds are known for just being very muted colors, but you can always tie other colors to them, you know? Partners in profit, kind of. So if you have like a terracotta color, you can put a bright yellow with it, you know, or a bright red, or, you know, aqua. The possibilities are endless. You just have to get a little creative with the color work. But, I mean, you can't beat that deal. Think about it. $1.25 tree sells the Premier Just yarn. It's 109 yards. For $1.25, which is a great deal. $1.25 for Premier's Just Yarn. Great deal. But for 25 cents more, you get a Karen 1 pound. It was too good to pass up. So, long story short, I cleared out 2 stores. I went ahead on my live. I told everyone about the things. Oh, and by the way, I did say that I was going to shout out the Big Lots in Newcastle. So if any of the workers at the Newcastle Big Lots are watching, huge shout out and a huge thank you to each and every one of you guys for hooking me up with all the yarn. Great team of people in there. Very nice, super friendly, and they were super happy and excited to find out that I had a YouTube channel and that I was going to be showcasing the yarns and talking about it and all the things. So, shout out to them. Don't forget to subscribe, friends. I do shop at Big Lots, and I will see you again. And I will ask you guys if you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, so I have enough yarn. So then I went ahead, talked about it on the live, and then I shared it with some of my friends that had no idea that this sale was even going on. And no sooner than I was finished my conversations with my friends, they were in the Big Lots putting yarn in their cart. So this is 1 day removed, and I get out of work and I got a message from a friend, and she takes a picture of her shopping cart and she says, "Look at what you made me do, Juan." I'm like, yay! I was so excited. I love it when I enable people. It's so good. Because it's different when it's like 20% off versus you're getting a pound of yarn for $1.60. You can't beat that. You know what I mean? So, anyway, it's going to be one of those things that you're going to hold on to and be like, I got this incredible deal. I don't know how many more times this will ever come across my plate to accept and take on, but yes. So, anyway, I went ahead and jumped right into this second skein and didn't even do any of the things that I normally do because I was just so intrigued about that conversation regarding the yarn. You know, some people, when I tell people I'm a yarn addict, they're like, Juan, we're all yarn addicts. But see, the difference between me and the average yarn addict is that you get excited about yarn, you talk about it, you do projects, you love yarn, okay? I take it to a whole other level. Who else would go ahead and clear not one but 2 stores of all of their yarn, and when I say all of it, I mean all of it, except the pink, and go ahead and order more yarn online that same night? That's me. But then on top of that, I'll sit there and I'll organize all of the yarn. I'll measure it like I have a gauge. I'll gauge the yarn just to make sure that, you know, all the things are good. But then you enable other people. Like I'm telling you, like, it's, for me, it's not just about buying the yarn. It's not just about crocheting or even knitting, which, by the way, friends, I'm a baby knitter. And I'm very proud to say that I'm doing quite well, all things considered. But yeah, if it has anything to do with yarn, I am all about it. So, look at that. Beautiful little cake. Love that for us. All right, let me pause this so we can save the data. I don't want to lose anything. Everything's going so well. 1 second. Okay, so we are back. This paper. Okay, there we go. All right, so which one is next? Let's do Pebble. Yeah, let's do Pebble. Pebble is just aching to be caked up. Beautiful Pebble. And let's see. What are the things? What are the things? It's 85 grams, 3 ounces. There's no yardage on here. That's another way you can tell, like, if the yarn's aged. You know, because nowadays you have all of the information on your skeins of yarn. Back then, it was just the basics. You had letter I hook, and you had the weight of the yarn. And in most cases, 85 grams, you know. Oh, this is good. I did several hexagons with this very skein. It works out beautifully. Love this for us, but I don't like the squeaking. Stop squeaking, please. Okay, anyway, so I have 2 skeins of this Pebble. I may actually go ahead, once this is done, I'm going to throw that other skein on here. Do I have it nearby? Yes, I do. It's in front of the table. It fell forward in between the breaks. So, anyway, if the squeaking is triggering, I am super sorry. This is one of the reasons why last time I pulled my stand wood out, because it doesn't squeak like this. And I've tried several different things. Someone suggested silicone. I haven't tried that. I may. I'm not exactly sure. There we go. I just have to figure out a way to make that handle work, so it doesn't like squeak, squeak, squeak. I hear a little bit of it, but it's not terribly bad. Now, when you're working these vintage skeins, the outer part of the skein tends to be very sticky, and it's not like there's anything wrong with it. It formed some sort of like crust, if that makes any sense. It's almost like it's got to peel itself from its next door neighbor. And I believe that's just because it sat for so many years. And that's why we're getting all of this. So that's fine. I don't mind it at all. The yarn works out beautifully. Okay. Let's not squeak or else I'm pulling stand wood out. At any rate. So I don't know if both skeins that I have are the same dye lot or not, This is die lot 188. I can't see the die lot down there. I'm going to have to pause us when I'm done this skein to go grab that because it fell in front of the table, well, in between this table and the desk. So this table is my caking table. Yes, I have a caking table. This was gifted to me by a member of my channel. Thank you, Sugar. And yes, so I use this to cake up my yarns. I also use this, I put the Swift on here. Sometimes I take the ball winder and I'll put this on another table and I'll use this table for the Swift. Because this has a metal bottom, it's bottom heavy, so the top can have things on top and I won't have to worry about the table toppling over, if that makes any sense. So, yes, I'm super happy with this yarn, Pebble. Love it. Okay. Now, I mentioned this before. I really wish that some of these colorways that I have in my possession right now were available. They're just beautiful, gorgeous colors. I wish that, you know, they were still available. In hindsight, there are some colorways that I'm super happy that are no longer in circulation. You know, it's almost like, okay, what were you thinking? Why did you think that those colors went well together? But it was just a sign of the times, you know? Now this particular skein here screams late 80s, early 90s. The Caron Simply Soft with that muted pink and the teal, that screams that particular decade. Like, and I could see, you know, the furniture and all the things being like from very 90s, you know. I'm glad that colorways like this don't exist exactly like that anymore, in my personal opinion. Now, I know there's plenty of people out there that would absolutely be super excited if this was still in circulation. So it goes to say that, you know, color palette choice is subjective. You know, it's different from person to person. Okay, so, you know what I just realized? I tied it up. And I was going to add more to this. Okay, so let me place this on a pause. I'm going to go grab that skein down there and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, I am back. And so I have the next skein here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a slip knot. I'm not going to do like a hard knot. I'm going to do a slip knot because I feel that depending on the project, I may want to do like a magic knot and not so much a hard knot. I think that would be great to just leave my options open. That way I'm not wasting any yarn. I might have more time later on to work up the project. So magic knot is probably what I'm going to be going with. This is so good. I love this yarn. This is one of my top yarns here, the Pebble. I really enjoy this. Another one is called Sugar and Spice. I'll have to find it. If I can find it, I'll talk to you guys about it in a future video. But it's a beautiful colorway. It's muted colors. It's got silver in it. It's very nice. So this skein was only 3 ounces, and I'm already towards the end of this, which is very, very nice. Now, I do know that my Knit Picks ball winder can potentially hold more yarn than my stand would, only because you see this bar here, I can slide this bar back and this can continue going so long as it can sit on this plate there. At any rate, when you're using the stand wood, that arm that wraps around the cake, it can only go but so far. But this, all I have to do is move this out of the way. Let me move this. I just have to move this back and it can continue going, you know? So, at any rate, it's really nice when the skeins pull very calmly and not haphazardly. But You know, this comes with the territory when you are caking up vintage yarns. This does happen. It is a normal thing. So I think what I'm going to do next is I would like to cake up some of that Mexicana yarn. I'm super excited to test that out and play with it because I've worked with the newer Mexicana yarn and it's very thin in comparison. So when I go to work it up in a hexagon, I'm curious to know what that feels like working it up. I wonder if is there a pattern inside there? No, it's washing instructions. So it's machine washable and dryable. Not really sure why they needed to use an entire back part of a ball band, but that's okay. It's how things were back then. Okay. And what I love is I was able to fit 2 skeins into one cake. I love that for us. Okay. So let me just do this. Okay. I'm going to take both of these, fold them and fold them. And then I'm going to do it just like that. It's beautiful. Love that. Okay, so I said that I wanted to do Mexicana. So we have Mexicana 1, which this definitely needs some TLC. And then we have this one, which is kind of already together. So let's go ahead and, you know, just for the sake of time, I want to make sure that I can at least get one completed for sure. Let me set this over here. There we go. As always, actually I need a sip of my coffee. It's not as hot as it was. That's okay. All right, so let's do the things there. Let's do that there. Oops. Let's redo that. Okay. Okay, and we are off already. We're on the 4th cake. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this Mexicana that I did with this particular cake here. I'm going to try and put 2 together into one cake. Now, based on past videos where we did coffee and cake, time only allowed me to do 4. But 1, 2, 3, 4, we've already done 4. So will we be able to do all of this? Sure, why not? Because honestly, we're only 33 minutes in. And by the way, friends, if you enjoy watching this kind of content, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell to stay updated with everything regarding me and my channel. I do lots of things on this channel, friends. I surprise myself. I'm like, what am I doing today? I go live multiple times a week, as of the date of this video anyway. And then I do a Whipping It with Juan where I work on a make. I do these. I do a podcast every week. And then I bring my mom on the channel on Sundays and we hang out. She lets me have it every Sunday. She gives me the side eye. She bops me in the head with yarn every now and then. You know, typical mother things. Anyway, my mom's a sweetheart. She's 80 years old. She turned 80 in March, and she will let me have it, regardless of how old she is. She does not care. She has the mind of someone half her age, and I love that for her. So anyway, it was my mother, believe it or not, who has been my biggest cheerleader at home here. She's the one who's constantly encouraging me to push forward, set higher and more intricate goals for myself, for my channel, and for what I do in the yarn arts. So, yes, I'm glad that I have her in my corner. So, that's great. Now, if you watched my older videos, I did speak to that where my mom really wasn't in the picture when it came to my yarn or my crochet or anything like that when I was younger. And it wasn't until after my grandmother and my aunt passed away that she really stepped up and she became that support system for me. And we were inseparable after that. And honestly, friends, she's my best friend. Like, I'm very fortunate to be able to say that my mother is my best friend. And I'm super proud of that. Okay, where do we start? I don't want to pull from the wrong end, you know what I mean? So as long as I am pulling the right way, we should be good here. We shall see. There's lots of rounds here. And again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the slip knot. Yeah, this yarn is so good, you know? Okay, so here is another end. Hopefully this is the correct end. We shall see in a second. Yes. Okay, good. So, anyway, as I was saying, my mother is my best friend. And, you know, she's not afraid to let me have it. She tells me, you know, when I'm wrong. And I'm wrong a lot, friends. She loves to remind me when I'm wrong, you know. But she supports me and she's my biggest cheerleader. So it goes hand in hand. And I love that for us. The dynamic that we have together, I mean, I'm just so proud of it, you know. At any rate, she's the one encouraging me to do these kinds of videos and not just like podcasts or, you know, not just a channel where we're doing one thing only. So the more variety that I have on my channel, it seems the more happy she is with what I'm doing. So I love that for me. And, you know, my mom really wasn't a big YouTube person. Not until I introduced her to my channel, and she's had the opportunity to meet the members of my channel. I brought her into the Zooms. She sat right in this room next to me with the screen up. And so, yeah, this was a brand new experience for her, and I know she loves it, you know. So she loves the fact that I'm doing this. Anyway, I'm not sure if she's the biggest fan of me caking everything up. She thinks that I should wait until I need to use it to cake it up, but I like having everything ready. Like, I want to be able to see what the yarn looks like together. So instead of laying skeins next to skeins, I'd rather cake next to cake and figure out, okay, well, should I work these up next or those? You know, I like having options, and if I can fit more on the table and sit them in such a way that it makes sense for me mentally, then that's what I would rather do, you know. So yeah, this skein is needing, look at this, I knew this was going to happen. This skein needed this. I can't even talk. Okay. Now, I will tell you, Mexicana is some beautiful yarn. New, old, doesn't matter. It's got all the colors in it. And the older Mexicana, this, is, like I said, it's thicker. And the color breaks are a little further apart. Not by much, because Kaleidoscope, which is another rainbow yarn, is even further apart. So yeah, what I may do, honestly, I may pull a newer skein of Mexicana and sit it literally next to one of these, and we can sit there and compare and contrast. Because unless you're seeing it next to each other, it's really hard to imagine. Another thing I will tell you is the quality of this yarn is different than the quality of the yarn today. Now, it may be full and squish and all the things, but I will tell you, just looking at it, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. You can clearly tell, like, there's inconsistencies with just how that yarn is. And I don't know if it's because of how old the yarn is or if it's because of how production was back then. I'm not sure. But one thing is for sure. This yarn here is not anything like the yarn that we see today. Alright, so, okay. So let's go ahead and buckle this up. I treat this like a belt. Goes around the waist and then I buckle it up, just like this. Okay, and then I pull nice and tight. Pull this out. Do I have a ball band? Yes. Let's fold that up. Put this right here in the middle and slide the cake out. Beautiful. Look at that. That's gorgeous. It's all the things. All right, let me put us on a brief pause so I can save the data, and we'll go ahead and move on to another skein. 1 second. Okay, friends, so I am back. Did it save? Yes, it did. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do this next, and I believe this will wrap us up for this particular video. So green tones. I showed this hexagon. It is beautiful. This is this yarn, but green, obviously. It's beautiful. Love that. So let me just go ahead and set this up. Just like that. Okay. Now it does ombre, which is, you can't really see how it ombres here, but this does ombre, which is super, super nice. And what I like about this yarn in particular is you go from super, super white to a very vibrant and dark green or blue. I also have the red. I have multiple shades in this. I have the green, the red, the blue, the purple. So I don't know how many of these they made, but yes, please don't squeak the entire time, please. Okay, so anyway, as I said, I have multiple colorways of this, and what I'm going to try and do is space them out so these tonal hexagons are not sitting next to each other. It's going to be too obvious, you know? So it's all about color planning and pooling and things like that. So I just want to make sure it makes sense for the project. Now, obviously, I want to showcase all of the yarns, but I need to place them in such a way that it's very haphazard and sporadic, and nothing too similar is next to each other, you know? The more contrast, the better. So that's the goal. So, yeah. And just realize that these particular skeins are only like 3 ounces a piece, so it looks like there's more than there really is. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit 9, well, I don't know if it's 3 ounces, that's the thing, because all 3 of them came without a band, so I'm not really sure. I know for sure I can get 2 of them on here, but I'm not really sure if I could get all 3. Maybe, I don't know. I'd love to know when this was actually manufactured, this particular yarn skein right here, because I feel like these are like little time capsules, you know? When was the last time the inside of this yarn seen daylight, you know? Anyway, the things I think about. I can't help it. Please stop squeaking. Please. I'm going to have to invest in some silicone. I'm going to have to try it because I've tried like several other things. And I mean, I've had this same ball winder. We're at about 250 to almost 300 skeins I've caked up with this very same ball winder. And it still performs. It does all the things that I need it to do for me. So no complaints here other than the noise. It's noisy when it wants to be. There's plenty of times where it was very silent, no noise, no clicks, no noise, no nothing. It was a joy. And then, you know, of course, I try to talk and discuss all the things, yarn and all the things, and it just wants to tell me everything. It wants to be noisy. All right. Okay, good. I love this yarn. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Red Heart, if you watch this, I doubt anybody from Red Heart watches this, or Yarnspirations. Can you guys please bring this back? Please? We have all the beautiful colors now. You can do a whole series of these quick ombre yarns. Oh, it's beautiful. Love it. I'm gonna throw another one on here really quick. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not, friends. Let's see. It's not so much the inside of the skeins for me for these as much as it is this outside part. So let's see. All right, so this is, we're gonna do the things like this. All right. Do I have enough time? Yes, I do. Okay. So we're probably gonna just have enough time to do 2 of these and not the 3rd one, which is fine. Let's go around the cake like so, like that. We tuck this down here like that. Okay, beautiful. Please don't squeak. Okay. All right, so we are well on our way, and I just realized that half of my head has been cut off. It's fine. We're looking at this. We're looking at this, you know, and the coffee and things. So I'm okay with the fact that I was cut off, you know, from here up. It's fine. This yarn is gorgeous. My stars. I'm going to have to go around and look and see if I can find any more of the colorways like this. Maybe I'll do some for the blanket and then do a separate project featuring just these yarns like this. That could be a thing, because I do have some cakes of the blue. I have one cake of the red. I have one red, one purple, two of the blues, and then these 3 of the greens. I may not have enough for an Afghan, but I have enough for something. I don't know what that something is just yet, but I will get creative. Maybe something for the back of my recliner, or the back of my office chair. I'm not entirely sure, but it could definitely be used for something. I have an accent chair in my room that this could go on. As long as there are other colors. I want to include red, purple, blue. That would look super nice. It's giving me a fuss. It's like, I want to be just me. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Beautiful. I wonder if the green is like patty green. I want to know the names. I know this light green is like honeydew. I think that's what they called it. It's a discontinued color, honeydew. Patty green, honeydew. I see this dark green here is, I don't know what that is. Hunter green? I'm curious. I do love these colors. So there is that. Okay. So that is going to wrap that one up. Let me see. Do I have room? Of course I do. Of course I have room. Are you kidding me right now? We have room for all the things. Let's just get it done. I think this is the outside of the skein. This is such a messy skein. What are we doing here? What are we doing, Juan? Okay. Let's see if we can make heads or tails out of this. It's fine, friends. Let's take care of what we need to take care of here. I don't want to leave this cake half done, you know? I want to make sure that the color is all together in one situation right there, which isn't a problem. And I just remembered, I have coffee here. I need a good swig of the coffee. Okay, there we go. And here's this slip knot. I actually love that I'm doing this now instead of scissors and tying, and it just, not only is it a time saver, but it just makes better sense. Like, don't decide on a knot because you don't know what project you're going to wind up with. So, okay. Calm down. I was going to give this ball winder a name. I don't know what to name my ball winder. So my stand wood, obviously, groundbreaking, right? But I don't know. I was going to call this one Wendy. I don't know why. Or Edith. Just something to that effect. Wendy or Edith, not Karen. Yeah, Wendy. Oof. Please. Well, I already knew this was going to be a mess, but it's fine. You just have to work quickly. There we go. Take our time. Don't stress out. Sometimes when you have a really, really big knot, it can take upwards of an hour to get a knot out, you know? It just depends. Maybe I need to go a little slower to prevent the knots from getting worse, because easy does it, as they say. Anyway, before I forget, friends, I said this earlier, I'm going to say it again. If you like this video, if you're enjoying yourself, hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you're not, I found out that 30% of the people who watch me are not even subscribed to my channel. And you watch and you don't subscribe, so consider subscribing. Why not? You're here already. And then turn those notifications on, but make sure that the notifications are turned on correctly, because sometimes that's done incorrectly. Some people actually send me emails and tell me that they're no longer getting the notifications, and then come to find out when they went to adjust their notifications, it actually turned them off. So just make sure you do all the things. Anyway, subscribe, like, comment, you know, the things for the algorithm. It helps the channel immensely. All right. This is so good. We fit all 3 skeins on this cake. How awesome is that? This is so good. So good. Okay. We're going to put this in here like that. So nice. Okay, beautiful. Did I have a... Nope, no ball band. Okay, let's go ahead and take that off. Beautiful. This is so good. This is my favorite cake so far of the day. Look at that. This is beautiful. So, we have all the wonderful, beautiful cakes. Okay, friends, so that wraps up this video. You already know what you need to do if you enjoy this content, so I'm not going to repeat myself for a third time. But anyway, that is all for this video, and until the next one, friends, take care. Bye.